We welcome you to RV Chronicles, real fictional stories about RV life. Welcome to RV Chronicles.
The radar called it a cone of uncertainty, but when a hurricane meets an open valley, there's not much uncertainty about what happens next. We thought we were waiting out the worst at Silver Creek RV Park. Turns out, the worst was already here. My name is Maya Ortiz, paramedic, off duty, supposedly. My partner Jonah and I were 3 hours into a 12-hour detour when the sheriff closed the coastal highway. We decided to take our chances with the high ground at Silver Creek RV Park. Little did we know, it was going to be a short stay, but a long night. Ruthie, if you're stayin', you're stayin'. Bridges out both ways. Lock your awnings. Tanks closed. If you got a generator, save it for lights, not AC. We ride this out together. There were 5 rigs on the Hilltop Loop. Hank, a retired lineman with a veteran's gait and a laugh that sounded like gravel. Tom and Val with their 7-year-old, Ellie, and a beagle named Scout. Sage, a digital nomad whose van looked like an Apple store mated with a climbing wall. Ruthie, who owned the park and knew every stubborn tree by name. And then there was Cal, arrived at dusk, rain steaming off him like a tide. Said he was a subcontractor with the power company. Said he was here to help. Name's Cal. If the grid hiccups, I got you. Done this dance too many seasons. Hank. You and me both, son. I noticed his harness was new, but his boots were wrong. Not wrong, just not a lineman's boots. Ruthie. Everybody to the rec hall till the worst passes. It's cinder block, but let's not try to be heroes. We made a circle of camp chairs on the concrete floor. Hank told stories about ice storms in '98. Sage strung fairy lights and made it feel like the hurricane had RSVP'd to a backyard party. Cal paced the windows like a border collie looking for a fence gap. Val, you really a medic? Maya, yeah. Hoping not to act like one tonight, though. Cal, that's a bad sign. Rec hall's on a separate feed. If the shed goes, we lose the pump and the gate motors. I'll check the panel. Ruthie hesitated, then tossed him a ring of keys big as a fist. Ruthie, panels in the maintenance shed. Don't drown. Jonah, you don't trust him. I hardly trust anyone, and I don't know him, so I definitely don't trust him. Hank, lady's got line sense. Fella said he was out of District 5, then called the bucket a sky buggy. No one calls it that. I filed it away. Maybe dialect, maybe nerves. Maybe the winds outside weren't the only ones changing direction. Cal, panel stable, but that generator, she's thirsty. We'll need fuel from rigs if the big bands linger. I'll organize a siphon run. Ruthie, we'll discuss that if we need it. Sage, I can deploy a Starlink node if we get a window. Weather apps want to be seen. Hank, he's eager. Eager breaks things. Ellie, it's dark. Val, it's okay, honey. Everyone exhales. When the lights return in a storm, you remember how much kindness electricity provides. Cal, all right, fuel run time. 2 volunteers with me. Maya, hold up. If the winds stay under 60, we pace ourselves. Jonah, help me move first aid into the hallway, away from glass. Cal watched my bag like it was a map out of here. Hank noticed too. He didn't say it. He didn't have to. Cal, latch is bent. Somebody find a wedge. Ruthie, damn it. That's hurricane work right there. While Jonah wedged the door with an upside-down trash can, I saw it. Cal's laminated ID bleeding ink from the rain. Real ones don't smear that way. Ruthie, we got an hour before the eye wall. Everyone use the bathroom, check your rigs, fast. We split into pairs. I walked with Val and Ellie to their fifth wheel. The beagle refused to leave the rec hall, which in hindsight was the smartest dog I've met. Val, worried. Ellie, grab your bunny and… Ellie! She wasn't in the bathroom. Not under the dinette. Not in the bunk. Not anywhere a kid could tuck herself when the world roars. 3 minutes later, we found her small footprints, wet, leading toward the maintenance shed. Maya. Ellie? I'm here. She stood by the fuse panel holding a rubber duck. Not hers. This one was scuffed and Sharpie labeled Cal on the bottom. Val, you scared me to death. Ellie. He asked if I wanted to see the lightning machine. Then he heard someone coming and told me to stay. He said, be good. Maya, take her. Go. Now. I checked the bench. A backpack, unlocked. Inside, a roll of fake IDs, a fistful of gas station cards, and a paper with Ruthie Caldwell circled, underlined, and safe scribbled beside it. I knew it. We confrontin' or we waitin'. This storm's about to peel the skin off the hill. We do both. Back in the rec hall, Cal stood on a chair, leading a prayer he didn't know the words to. People cling to whatever floats when the water rises, sometimes even a liar. Maya. Cal, we need to talk. Cal, make it quick, medic. I'm coordinating. Coordinating your take, maybe. Your badge is inkjet. Your boots aren't linemen. You lured a child to a shed. Your bag is full of identities that don't belong to you. Tell me I'm wrong. Silence except wind. A fluorescent hum stutters overhead. Cal, you're half right. I'm not a lineman, but I am the only thing between y'all and an empty diesel tank. This park has a safe. Ruthie does day fees in cash. Keys are on her belt. Doors at the back of her office. In 30 minutes, that back wall is going to be a sieve, and I plan to be gone. Ruthie, I feed kids with that cash. Fix roofs. Bury pets. You touch my office and I'll bury you. Cal, just borrow your truck then. Who's going to stop me? The medic with no gun or the old-timer with a bad knee? Hank, try me. The back door of the rec hall blows inward. Screams. Rain floods the floor. Jonah and Maya had braced for it. Trash cans, ropes, ready. Positions! Sage, towels, floodline there. Jonah, wedge the hinge. Hank, on me. When the wall of wind meets a room full of strangers, someone has to decide we're all on the same side. Cal decided otherwise. Move, or I carve my own exit. Maya, I'll dance. You lead. We didn't need heroics. We needed leverage. Maya. He took Ellie to the shed. He was going to use her to get keys. That's who he is. You won't touch me. Not with that little girl watching. You're right. I won't. Sometimes survival looks like a dog who decides no one is going to mess with his family. Here's the thing about storms. They strip pretense. We all break differently under pressure. My job is to patch what's left. Ruthie. I was such a damn fool to hand him my keys. Trust isn't foolish, Ruthie. It's expensive. Tonight he doesn't get to spend it. Sage. Water's coming in under the door. I've got towels, sandbags, beanbags, whatever was in the craft closet. Hank. Improvisin's an art form. While the eye wall shredded tree limbs into kindling, we became a crew. Hank reinforcing the back door. Sage relaying radio calls when the wind thinned. Ruthie calming a dozen neighbors with a voice that could still a lake, and Jonah and I doing what we do, breathing for the room. Dawn came like a bruise fading. The world outside looked like a toddler had rewritten the map, but the hilltop loop held. Ellie, did we do good? Maya, you were brave, especially when it mattered most. Val, practical. We can start with downed branches along the main lane, clear a path for emergency vehicles. Hank, storm's over, son. What are you without the wind? Cal, defiant. Alive. Still counts. Ruthie, to Maya. Sheriff'll be ours. You good to keep him in the supply closet? Maya. We'll keep him where he can't cut his way out, and where he has to listen to us plan the rebuilding. Sage. I've got 1 bar of signal. Jonah. Praise be to the bar. Sage. Local bulletin boards are lighting up. That cow has hit Parks up and down the corridor. Poses as help. Cases the place. Takes whatever he can. People are replying with mugshots and warnings. Ruthie. Let them know. His luck ran out at Silver Creek. Cal. Daddy worked storms. Real lineman. Said folks are different in hurricanes. Easier to read. Easier to predict. I didn't know what to do after he died, so I learned to predict, too. Hank, you learned the wrong lesson. Maya, I wanted to hate him, and I did, a little. But I also recognized a thing storms teach all of us. We're a hair's breadth from becoming someone we don't recognize when the wind leans hard enough. Cal, you weren't off duty, were you? Maya, apparently not. By noon, the volunteer fire chief rolled up the hill, followed by a deputy and a truck full of rakes, tarps, and bad coffee. They took California. We took stock. Sage's fairy lights went back up. Ellie drew the storm on construction paper with a blue crayon big as our faith. Ruthie hung it on the office door. Ruthie, reading the note Ellie wrote beneath the drawing. We won. And reflecting on everything. That's the whole sermon. A hurricane trapped us at Silver Creek. But while it was tearing everything apart outside, we banded together to defeat an internal enemy. The winds of life will always rage outside. It's the storm inside we have to tame.